Gonna do something very fun. So for this video, we're gonna compare the past mons from the future mons, and I feel like the most fair way to find out which one's the best one is by simply taking the best of both groups, comparing them each other, and then this is how it's gonna work. So it's gonna be a point system. So the first round is gonna be Fluttermane versus Iron Hand. Whichever one is better is gonna win a point for their team. So yeah, let's just get started. So Fluttermane versus Iron Hands. I think Iron Hands is personally the best future Paradoxmon, and Fluttermane is obviously the best past Paradoxmon. Obviously, since Fluttermane is top in usage and literally does everything, it's going to get the point for Team Past. So that's going to be 1 point for past, 0 points for future. Raging Bolt versus Iron Crown. A lot of people like to think that Iron Bundle is the second best, but we're talking about the current regulation in this scenario where Iron Bundle has certainly gone down in usage, so we'll be comparing Iron Crown to Raging Bolt. I think this one's a no-brainer that Raging Bolt is obviously better. It's one of the best Pokemon. Thunderclap, really good. Thunderbolt, really good. Snarl, really good. So, while Psy Spam is nice for Iron Crown, it's not as good as Raging Bolt. So I think that is 2 points for past and 0 points for future. Next, Gouging Fire versus Iron Bundle. I think this is a clear win for Gouging Fire. Burning Bulwark's so strong, and just having that attack buff with Howl, you could cause a lot of disruption. I don't think it's as great as people say, but still really good. Like, it's not like one of the top 12 Pokemon or anything like that, but it's pretty good. A lot better than Iron Bundle, at least. Roaring Moon versus Iron Jugulis. Iron Jugulis can do a lot. You basically can defeat all the Psy Spam teams, and it's the third best Tailwind setter. You know, it doesn't have Prankster, so it can't always set up Tailwind, but with Speed Booster you can, and you have Snarl support, which the other two common Tailwind setters don't have. You also have Air Slash to try to go for flinches. You could set up your own manual electric terrain. You could have Protect. There's a lot you could do with Jugulis. Roaring Moon is a lot more offensive, but I don't think it's as good as Iron Jugulis, who's just a great support mon. So that's the first point for future. Although past is already beating it pretty big. Walking Wake versus Iron Boulder. It's a tough one. Walking Wake is certainly really good on Sun teams, but Iron Boulder just being able to break through Protect is really nice. You know, you got access to that. You got access to Psycho Cut, which is not really good as Psychic type stab. But I think you mostly want to run it because of Sacred Sword, which is why I think I'm going to have to go to Iron Boulder. Screamtail versus Iron Valiant. Again, another really close match, but I think I have to give it to Screamtail just for, like, it actually getting good tournament results. Brute Bonnet versus Iron Moth. I'm going to have to go with Iron Moth here. I think Iron Moth is really underrated. You have access to Fiery Dance, you have access to Acid Spray, a lot of other, like, coverage moves like Psychic, Flash Cannon, and Energy Ball. So, yeah, Iron Moth is just 10 times better than Brute Bonnet. And this is where things get really hard to compare because, like, now we're at the bottom of these lists. Like, you got Sandy Shocks versus Iron Leaves. And I think I'm going to have to give it to Iron Leaves. Like, Iron Leaves, you have electric terrain support, which is really nice. If you do decide to go with that manual terrain Thundurus or Jugulis, as we've seen you can't do. Again, neither of them are really amazing, but, like, I feel like there's more of a niche for Iron Leaves than Sandy Shock. Sandy Shock's, like, presses gravity and then uses thunder, and that's about it. Slitherwing versus Treads. I think I'm gonna have to give this one to Slitherwing. So, with Slitherwing, right, it's got really good first impression in close combat and Flare Blitz, so it hits really hard. It's really hard to set up, though. It's got a middling speed stat. It just can't really do much outside of that. Iron Treads, you know, you're really fast, but, like, there's a lot of mons that are really fast. And, like, yeah, you get fast Iron Head, but why not just use a Bullet Punch from something like a Metagross? So, yeah, that's why Iron Treads is not winning this. So currently, past is at 5 and future is at 4. So, can this last match finish it up? Nope, it's Iron Thorns. Well, you know how that goes. Iron Thorns is the worst Paradoxmon, I would have to say. You can't do much. You know, if this video gets 10 likes, I will make an Iron Thorns team. And if Great Tusk ends up past wins here, is what I'm basically trying to say. Great Tusk has Close Combat, Headlong Rush, Earthquake, a lot of great stuff. It's not as great as it used to be because of all the other better ground types that exist, but I think Great Tusk is personally better. So I think, past wins 6 points to 4. This doesn't mean the future mons are bad. There's some genuinely good ones. I think Iron Moth is very underrated. It hits really hard, it's really fast, and it has a pretty good special defense stat. I remember in Reg C, I was using an Assault Vest set, and I think it's definitely a sleeper pick. Or in Jugulus, obviously having good Tailwind support, really great if you're not running Tornadus. So the reasons you wouldn't run Tornadus is maybe your team's pretty weak to Psy Spam and you would want Jugulus instead. You need some Snarl support. Maybe you're not running Raging Bolt and you need some Snarl support. And yeah, that's just all the great things Jugulus can do. Why I think Bundle is better than Jugulus? It's still Jugulus, right? I think Bundle is slightly better than Jugulus because speed is really good right now. Well, that's all I have to say for today.